Scal, we got what? 15 minutes left here. We got to do our predictions. We teased it all show long. Where do we want to start? Do we want to just say, do we want to go final? Do we want to leave finals for last? Do we want to go finals first?
No, I mean, whatever you want to do. You're the host.
Let's do finals first. You've already given your finals prediction. So you've got I have neither team that you have in the finals. You're going Sixers, Clippers.
Yeah.
Explain, give us the formula.
Defensively, I just think they got the best defensive team. I could see in a matchup against, like for Sixers, in a matchup against the Celtics or in a matchup against the Milwaukee Bucks, I could see them having the personnel to stop what those guys do. So defensively, I think they're the best team. I think Clippers are the best team in the East. I think if LeBron somehow got through the LA Clippers and it's Paul George going at him, it's Kawhi Leonard going at him, even Patrick Beverley for 8 minutes a game, just like nipping at his heels, I could totally see the Clippers just having the defensive presence to get themselves to the finals. And then it's hard to bet against Kawhi Leonard and what he's done when he made it to the finals.
So I'm taking, not because I just want to be friends with Perk, but I do want to be friends with Perk, but I'm going Lakers Bucks. And I'm taking the Lakers because now, I think there's this notion that like all these people that are picking the Lakers think that, the Lakers are a lock. I don't think they're a lock at all. I think it's really close, especially in the West. I think the West is closer than the East for me. I just look at LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I hear all the points because I sit here and I go, yeah, Kawhi Leonard, as you said, Patrick Beverley, Paul George, like that's a lot for LeBron to deal with. My rebuttal to that is who the hell is going to guard Anthony? Who in the league can guard Anthony Davis? And I think we're going to see an Anthony Davis this year because now Anthony Davis 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I mean, he was putting up MVP type numbers on a average to maybe even below average Pelicans team. And I think he was the reason they were successful. I like Drew Holiday, but I think Anthony Davis his numbers would suggest he's an MVP caliber player. I think with LeBron in LA, he's rejuvenated. He wants to prove to everybody that he's not this bum that wanted to just ask his way out of New Orleans. I think he's going to be I think both he and LeBron are going to be as motivated as they've been in recent history. And I just look at it and I go, yeah, I like the Clippers' depth. Yeah, I probably trust Doc Rivers more. I like the organization for the Clippers more than I think the structure of the Lakers right now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you don't even talk about who's running the organization.
Yes, but LeBron James, Anthony Davis, there is no better duo than that in the league. I think you can make an argument, and Perk said this with us earlier, at any given night, those could be the two best players in the league, really, talent-wise. And I don't think any team can match up with that. So that's why, reluctantly, I'm going with the Lakers because I do think this might be LeBron. Who knows? Who knows how many peak years LeBron has left? And I think if he has them left, he realizes that he needs to do this now. That's why I think he's going to be motivated for the regular season and going to the playoffs. So I'm going Lakers in the West. And in the East, I'm a little bit higher, I think, on the Bucks than you. I think they have I think there are issues there for the Bucks. I think it's going to be tough for them to be as good as they were last year. But I look at Philly, and it's hard for me to trust Simmons and Embiid and Brett Brown. It's hard for me to just go all in and say they're going to be. I think there's 100% a situation in a reality where if Embiid really did worry about his weight and his health, and he comes in and is just an absolute world beater, which I think is possible. Yeah, there's a really good chance the Sixers are going to go to the finals and maybe even win the finals, but I want to see it first.
So when you think about those two matching up in the playoffs, Bucks, Sixers, you're fine with Lopez guarding Embiid?
I'm not fine with it. I just go, I trust Giannis. I think Giannis has another
How do you trust Giannis? They lost 4 straight games, and he looked awful during those 4 games against Toronto.
Because I think he's reigning MVP. I think we've seen potentially a better jump shot from him. I just trust him more than I trust Embiid and Simmons, if that makes sense. And I think their roster, obviously they lost Brogdon, they lost Mirotic, but they added the other Lopez. They added Robin Lopez. I like that. I do think Wesley Matthews will give them some decent minutes. I think there's enough there where, that system where it's basically the 5-out system, right?
Yeah.
Where it was so dominant and so great last year. The team they lost to is no longer the team to beat in the Eastern Conference in the Toronto Raptors. So if I'm going head-to-head, yes, I do think Philadelphia on paper might have the edge, but I'm just going to trust. I'm going to trust the MVP, and I'm going to trust Giannis.
I mean, when I look at teams going to the finals, I always look at matchups, and I look at the guys, and I usually go 7 deep. I don't care who the 9th man is on each team.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
But if you go across the board, like the dominant matchups, there's not enough for me on Milwaukee over Philly. Remember, Philly, as much as you guys want to hate on Philly, they took Toronto to the brink.
Yep.
Like they did better. So for instance, I got it. Milwaukee went further than Philly did, right?
Yep.
Okay. But who played the Toronto Raptors better?
Well, it's funny though. Last year, obviously, the Bucks win 60 games, best record in the regular season, and they're up 2-0 against the Raptors. And we're going. And I mean, I don't know about you.
I was too. I was saying
this is over.
It's over.
And people were even saying they can. This Bucks team can challenge a healthy Warriors team.
I was saying.
Saying that too.
Yeah.
And the wheels really fell off, and they lost 4 straight.
So isn't that the alarm?
No,
that's not an alarm. Like you're like, I don't know if I can trust Embiid. Embiid is like, he's down 25 pounds. He went through last year. They were on the cusp of beating him, but somehow you trust Giannis, who lost 4 straight games. Like, I don't understand that. You got to explain this one to me.
Because I don't think that that game the Raptors took that series over and flipped it on its head, and okay, it ends up being 4-2.
It was embarrassing for the Bucks.
It was bad. It was bad because
it was never embarrassing for the Sixers.
It was not. But again, you talk about the matchup thing. Like, Horford's really the stopper for Embiid. Like,
it's not. No, you mean for Giannis.
I'm for Giannis, sorry.
No,
yeah,
he's one of the guys. He's another guy. And he's mature. And he's been there before. And he's been in big games. The guy's gone to the Eastern Conference.
You don't have to sell me on the pickup. I like the pickup.
Yeah, so it's like you're acting like you don't just like in a box take a look at the Horford matchup against Giannis. It's more than that. It's 8 minutes that he can guard Giannis and then move him off, or you can rotate different guys. It's like Matisse Thybulle, who like you can talk about as a rookie or whatever.
Yep.
The guy is like a good defensive player.
Yep.
He defends, he blocks shots, he's long, he's a perfect role player. There are people talking like he should probably start so they can bring a little bit of firepower off the bench. So this Philly team is good. They're a good team.
I will not argue that they're good. And as I said, I think their ceiling might be the highest in the league. If they put this thing together, I would not be surprised in the least if they won the title this year. I just want to see it first. That's all I'm going to say. So we disagree there. Right. We disagree on that. Let's do this. Let's go down the list here. Who's your MVP?
Embiid.
I think, again, if you're so you're picking the Clippers over the Bucks, over the Sixers, right?
Because I started looking at rosters. I think Kawhi Leonard is going to be too much for those guys to handle. He's going to pick apart everybody on their team, and Paul George too. If Paul George self-checks, which he can, then the Clippers won't win. But if Paul George is like all in, I think Doc Rivers will really help Paul George out.
I asked you that because I think if Embiid does win the MVP and has a season like that and carries that into the playoffs, I think the Sixers win the title. I just don't think it's going to happen because I think he has it in him to do that.
They're two different things. A regular season is one thing.
Yeah.
Philly's going to be the romanticized pick. Embiid's going to be the romanticized player because he's grown up now.
You can get good odds too if you're a betting man on Embiid, and I think a lot of people are doing that. So it is an interesting pick. I'm going to go with Anthony Davis, and I'm going with Anthony Davis because I truly believe, as I said before in my pick of why I think they're going to win the title, he's motivated. I think you can make an argument he's the best player in the league. I think given any night in and night out, I think the LeBron and the Lakers and their front office and the management have basically been saying, the reins are his. Like, he is running the show. At least in the regular season, he is running the show. And I think that between his talent, LeBron James is almost like his secondary Robin in that way, even though I don't think it's going to be that way in the playoffs. They're going to prop him up, and he's going to have an unbelievable statistical season. I don't think they're going to be like a 1-2 seed. I think they'll probably be a 4 or 5. But him being in LA and the numbers he's going to put up, which I think are going to be out of this freaking world, both offensively and defensively, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm going to pick him to win the MVP.
How are you going to spin that? Like, how are you going to be the MVP with being a 4 seed with LeBron James on your team? Like, that doesn't, all that stuff
because
doesn't
I think they're going to do a
like, if the Rockets are a 2 seed,
his numbers are going to be better than LeBron's. And I think the LA factor matters, and I think because his numbers are going to be ridiculous, both on the offensive end and the defensive end. If he goes back to what he was a couple years ago, and he's doing that for a Lakers playoff team, I think there's a really good chance he wins the MVP because
they don't match up. Like if you're a 4 seed with LeBron on your team, how are you going to?
Well, here's this. What I'll counter to that is I think if Steph Curry gets the Warriors in the playoffs, if they're like the 8 or the 7 seed, there's a really good chance he wins MVP.
Yeah.
Too.
Then
you don't have to.
If they do, yes. And Steve Kerr should win Coach of the Year as well.
You probably should.
Yeah, but they won't. So it's for Anthony Davis to win the MVP, they got to be a 1 or 2 seed. They got to win 58 games.
Maybe, but I think people are going to look at the numbers and go, because I think LeBron's going to rest. I think Anthony Davis is going to play. If he plays the whole season and does what I believe he's going to do, I think he's going to be unstoppable and unbelievable. So let's do this. Who defensive player of the year?
Embiid.
I'm going with Embiid as well.
Yeah,
I think
he's a beast.
I think Gobert is the Vegas favorite to repeat. He's like the year in year out pick. Are there any wings that we think like can Kawhi? I don't think Kawhi is going to play enough games to do that. That's the problem. Regular season games. It does seem like big men are going to dominate this.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got no wings that could probably do this. So
let's do most improved player, because I think this is an interesting one.
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward, interesting. All right, Gordon Hayward. I think
he's gonna have a good year this year.
I think fully healthy, coming off basically 2 years off of that injury. I think that's an interesting pick.
And he knows, like I can't take what I've done in the past. I can't take for granted anymore. And I think he's gonna stop taking those pull-up jumpers. He's gonna get to the basket. I think Gordon Hayward have a good year. It'll be like 22 and 4 or something like that.
I'm gonna go with De'Aaron Fox. I know he's a controversial guy.
I'm fine with De'Aaron Fox now.
But I know you were disappointed in the Team USA stuff, and I understand that.
No, but the way that they talked about it, like he had no idea he was like. Listen, if you don't know you're on the select team, and he had no idea these guys are, and you book you have basketball camps and all this other stuff you're supposed to do. Listen, like you have those commitments, you got to live up to that. I didn't look at it like that when it first happened, but I think that the way that Brian Colangelo talked about it,
Perk was really high on them, saying the potential playoff team. I don't know if I'd go there yet. I do like their team, especially I like them bringing Buddy Hield back, but I think De'Aaron Fox year 2 to year 3. I mean, this guy. He's one of maybe the fastest end-to-end guys in the league, and I do believe he's going to take the next step to being an elite guard in this league. And I like him. I love the. He's also one of the guys I just love watching him play because he plays with so much energy on both ends of the ball.